الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته أخواني الطلبة والطالبات المقيدين في الصف التاسع لهذا العام، وأرحب بكم في حلقة جديدة إن شاء الله في تدريس اللغة الإنجليزية بإذن الله، ودرس جديد ويوم جديد بإذن الله عليكم جميعا. كذلك أحيي بذلك أولياء الأمور والمشاهدين من خلف قناة عمان الثقافية. نحول اللغة العربية إلى اللغة الإنجليزية. Good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon students and all of those honorable viewers behind the screen. Today inshallah we're going to learn something that is very commendable, something that is very useful for every one of you. And beside the summary or the, let's say, the some information regarding the previous lessons, especially once we're talking about grammar rules. So let's start forward. Let's start immediately. So today's lesson is going to be about reading and some grammar. I know that you guys, again, you've got some lovely information about how to answer comprehensive questions related to reading texts, but still we have to do it because of its importance and in order not to forget it at all. Regarding grammar, it's very important also because it's a part of your course, let's say. At the same time, you have to really know them because once you grow older, then you're going to face or encounter some other grammar rules which are more complicated than those rules we've been teaching you guys, Mr. Ismail and I. So in today's lesson, you're going to have comparative and superlatives, reflexive pronouns, just bear in mind, comparatives and superlatives, reflexive pronouns, stars shine at al-Hoqin. This is going to be your reading text. This is going to be your reading text. And also some exercises for both reflexive pronouns and reading. Okay? So are you ready, all of you? I can see just all of you groups A and B and C in front of me. Just, yes, stay calm. We are about to start the lesson. Okay, group A, thank you. Okay, so let's start our lesson immediately. In this live broadcast, students will be able to. So what are you going to learn today? Very good. Understand and use comparatives and superlatives in forming sentences. Right? You will be able to understand the superlatives and comparatives. I know that some of you guys, students, have got some kind of obstacles when dealing with comparatives and superlatives, and for sure. But today I'm going to break the ice and make the sentence, or sorry, the lesson crystal clear to every one of you. And the second objective that I'd like to share with you today, understand and use reflexive pronouns. This one is new, and it's a part of your lesson. Or in this course, you have to really understand it and know the way how to use it at the same time. And also, we're going to focus, or sorry, to skim and scan text for the purpose of providing information. Again, as I've told you before, just bear in mind before we start the lesson, I'd like you to really think about the reading strategy that we talked about in the previous lessons. I taught myself, right? So there was like this way reading strategy that I'm going to ask one of you guys in order to say it or tell it to us all. Okay, are you ready, all of you? Okay, for the first slide, you've got the summary of what you have learned so far in grammar. I'm going to go through all of those grammar rules very fast, and I'd like you to lend me your ears. I'll be very slow once I start explaining those grammar rules in order to make you get them all, swallow them, put them in your heads and minds, please. Okay? Ready? Good. Do you remember the possessive adjectives we taught, or Mr. Ismail taught you? Remember? So I'm going to give you this this example. This is my book. This is my book. So when we talk about my, it's a possessive adjective, and as you can just really focus on the sentence, this is my book, right? My book, right? So have a look at this one. What do we call this? What is book? Is it a verb or is it a noun or is it? Yes, exactly. So this one is a noun. If you can have a look at my, it's a possessive adjective and it's followed, must be followed put this in your mind please, must be followed by a noun. This is my book. We cannot say this is my, and that's it, the end of the story. We cannot put a full stop in there, because listeners will just waiting for something to show up. This is my yes teacher, this is my what? So my as a possessive adjective must be followed by a noun. Book, pencil, laptop, table, chairs, TV, watch, whatsoever the noun is. Okay, and then we move to possessive pronouns, and we said like the 7 pronouns in English: I, yes, she, exactly, he, it, well done. Any other pronouns? They, we, you, exactly. Thank you so much. And just as a reminder of the possessive, the pronoun you. The pronoun you, it can be used for both singular and plural. Okay, so we say your and very good. Yes, for both you. So let's say, for example, the same sentence. Yes, this book is mine. Now this book is mine. Sorry, my handwriting is much good. Have a look. What is the difference between possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns? That this one is not my, it's mine, possessive pronoun, and there is nothing followed this possessive pronoun. So what can we say? Do you remember what Mr. Ismail said about those possessive pronouns? He said that they can stand alone. Am I right? They can stand alone. They can stand alone. They don't have to be followed by a noun like the possessive adjective. Am I right? And then we talk about possessive apostrophe. Yes, I don't want to mention it. You can just go to your skills book. Let's go to relative clauses. Relative clauses. Now, relative clauses, let me just zoom it a little bit. Do you remember the lesson also that was taught by, I think, Mr. Ismail, or I don't remember? We took 3 relative clauses and we said that we have, yes, who can mention, okay, very good, that, who, and which. Do we have some other relative clauses in English? Yes, but according to the book that you have in front of you, we've got only these 3 relative clauses, who, which, and that. And what did we say about who? When do we use it? Exactly, thank you. We use it once we talk about people. This is a person who played tennis with me last night. This is the person who, or this is the man, or this is the girl, or this is the boy, whatsoever. So we use it to describe people. And then we said which we use it once we describe an object or something. This is the book which, whatsoever the complement is. And then we said about something, we said something that is very important about that. Do you remember that? We said that can be used for both people and things. You can use it for both. We can replace who by that, okay, and we can replace that by who. It's up to you. But about the, and for which also, we can replace it by that. This is the book that, instead of saying this is the book which. Okay? And then, do you remember the lesson also about active and passive? Sorry for talking so much about those grammar rules, because I don't want you to I don't want you guys to feel like you've got some clouds settled in your heads. I'd like everything to be very crystal clear. So this is why I'm giving you this brave revision about those grammar rules. Active and passive. And we said that active, what is so special about active? Yes, the subject is there. Like, for example, Badr broke the window. If I ask you guys, all of you behind the screen, if I ask you this, who broke the window? Who? Tell me. Badr, exactly. So you know the subject, you know the person who did it. But when we shift this active into passive, then you have to start from what? Do we have to start from the subject or from the object? From the object, exactly, group B, yes. So you have to start from the object, right? And then it's followed by what? Yes, by the past symbol of verb to be. What is the past symbol of verb to be? Tell me, let's say group A, tell me. Was, exactly, so was or where. And then what is next? What is followed? Followed by what? V3, exactly. V3, we're talking about past, we call it past participle. Excellent. So who can shift this sentence into the passive? Badr broke the window. Exactly. Thank you so much, guys behind the screen. The window was broken. Why did you say was? Why didn't you say were? Because the window, how many windows do we have? One window. So it is singular. We use was for the passive, or sorry, for the object window, because it's singular. The window was broken. The window was broken. So this sentence is in the passive. Speech marks, I'm not going to go through them. You know them. Past simple. Past simple. All of those three grammar rules, they're very important. Past simple, it is an action happened in the past and it's done, finished. It doesn't exist anymore. And if we're talking about the form, then we say subject plus V2 plus object. Sorry, object. V2, past symbol, like went. It's the past symbol of go. Am I right? Good, thank you. What about present perfect? Who can tell me something about present perfect behind the screen? Huh? Yes, group B. Thank you so much. An action happened in the past, correct. But, still it has got some kind of effects. Am I right? Or still, till now, it's happening. For example, myself, Mr. Abdullah, I have been a teacher for 10 years. So, being a teacher happened 10 years ago. In 2000, let's say 2012, right? I became a teacher. The same action still at this moment, I'm still teaching you guys. So we use present perfect in order what? To talk about an action happened in the past, but still there is some kind of continuity, whether it's going to be like affects. For example, if you have got this wand in your face, this wand happened in 2015, and this till this moment there is a mark in your face that it's very obvious that there is like a wand in there. We use a present perfect. We use a present perfect. And we said something about past perfect. Good. About past perfect. Who can tell us something about past perfect? Focus, please. In past perfect, exactly, group A. 2 sentences. How many sentences? 1, 2. 2 sentences must be there. It means 2 actions. 2 sentences means 2 action. 1 action and another action. 1 action happened before the other. 1 action happened before the other action and must be in the past perfect tense. What about the action that happened after the first one? Must be in past simple. Exactly. And I don't want to draw this, but let's say if I have got plenty of time, you've got this future whatsoever, and there is now, and there is this one past, right? I'm going to use another color. You've got 2 actions, 1 and 2. Which action happened first? Tell me. Yes, it is. This one happened first. And this one happened later. Exactly. Thank you. So this action, should we put it in the past simple or in the past perfect? Exactly, group C. Past perfect. Correct. What about this one? Past simple. Well done. Should I give you one example? Let's say I had been married for 5 years before we had the first child. Right? تزوجنا من 5 سنوات وبعدين حصلنا على المولود الأول. So which one happened first? Yes, the marriage thing. And then the child. Good, very good. Right, something else that I'd like to really mention here. Second condition. Do you remember taught by Mr. Ismail? Yes, second conditional. Again, you have to have 2 sentences, but not similar for those past perfect tense. 2 sentences, but we're not talking about past simple and past perfect. We're talking about, who can tell me? Exactly, thank you so much, Group A. We're talking about if plus what? V2, and then a comma. Exactly, thank you. Give him a clap. Well done. And then what? Would. Very good. And then what? V1. Exactly. V1. For example, if I won $1 million, I would build my own house. If I won, V2, won, what is the present symbol of won? When, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. When. And then we have this comma. Is it important to have it in second conditional? Yes, when. Exactly. If you start the sentence, with if, right, then you have to have this comma. But what happened if we replace it by the second sentence? What happened if we start by the second sentence, by would? We bring this first and we put this second. Yes, we get rid of comma, exactly, thank you. And then you took something about first conditional, you know it, done by Mr. Ismail. Today's lesson, guys, we're going to talk about superlatives, comparatives as like a revision, because I really believe that you have studied them before, and then reflexive pronouns. Okay, good, let's start. Okay, so you've got this comparative and superlative forms. I'm not going to go through all of those sentences, but we can just have a look at them, or we can read them, very fast. We use the comparative adjectives when we compare two people, animals, or things. You've got two people, 1 and 2. For example, Mr. Abdullah and Mr. Ismail, right? And you want to compare these two guys, or those two teachers, in terms of, let's say, size, or in terms of height, or in terms of appearance, the way they look, right? So you compare these two gentlemen in terms of those things. You compare two things. Can we compare one thing? No, we cannot. You have to have two things. Am I right, students? Yes. So put in front of you two things. Let's say two balls. One ball is small and the other one is big. You can say, for example, you can have also the third one, let's say more bigger than the second. You can say, for example, this ball is the smallest, while the ball that is in the middle, it is bigger than this one, but it is smaller than the biggest, right? And the big ball, you can say it is the biggest ball among these three balls, okay? Very good. So let's really focus on it. And when you compare two things, first of all, what you compare? We compare the adjectives, right? Sad, sadder, saddest. And then you've got this old, oldest, expensive. So when we're talking about comparatives and superlatives, we're talking about adjectives and how to compare those adjectives from one object and one person to another, right? For example, if you go to the first sentence, the form first, you've got adjective, and then you have to add ER when you compare two things. You have to have the adjective and then ER. And then it must, listen, it must be followed by than. This one is vital, mandatory. You have to put it there, right? If we're talking about, of course, when we say adjective plus ER, we're talking about one syllable. One syllable. How many syllables? One syllable, like old. Old has only one syllable. It is only one syllable word. So what do? We add ER and then than. But when it comes to an adjective that has got more than one syllable, let's say 2 or 3, like the word expensive, for example, we say more first. And then the adjective itself, no changes at all. We don't add ER. The adjective itself, we don't add ER. Why? Because it has got more than one syllable. It's more than one syllable. Expensive is an adjective that contains more than one syllable. Am I right? Exactly. So we use more first, and then we write the adjective as it is, no changes made, and then than, because I said it is a mandatory, it's a must that you have to do it, or you have to write it down. Okay, so John, who can read this sentence for me behind the screen? Yes. Nice, thank you. John is older than Peter. right? Older, have a look. Older has got ER. Why? Because it's only one syllable. And it's followed by what? By than. Exactly. What about more? Why did we write more here? Because the adjectives that is written in here has got more than one syllable. So we have to add more first, precede it, and then write the word than right after the adjective. Have you got it? Very good. Right. Look at this, for example. Sad, sadder. Why is it sad? Yes, look at this girl. I'm going to zoom it a little bit. She is sad. But this little girl, she's what? She's sadder, right? Sadder, more sadder than this little girl. She's sad. This one, more sadder. This one is what? Have a look. This boy is crawling in the ground, and he's very sad. He's crying too much. He's the saddest. Okay? Saddest, it's not comparatives. It's what? Superlatives. Exactly. Thank you. So, what is the form of superlatives? Superlatives, you've got the, first of all, the. Is it important, teacher? Yes, it is. It is very important. You cannot write a sentence in superlative without the. If you don't write the, then there is a mistake in your sentence. Just, really focus, especially in grammar test. For example, you're about to have those grammar rules in a test. If you have the and then followed by adjective, or between brackets there is adjective, like for example old, right? Let's say for example John is, this one is missing in your test. Let's say this is what the teacher wants you to write. He gave you between brackets this one, old. If you, you've got this one, oldest. Oldest cannot stand alone by itself. It has to be preceded by the. So you're going to write the. So the, is it a fundamental? Yes, it is. Is it a vital? Is it something that is very important? Something that you have to write in a sentence? Yes, exactly. Thank you. The followed by adjective. If it is only one syllable, then you have to add est, like the word. Again, for the same one, old. Old, it is only one syllable. In order to make it superlative, you have to add the first, and then you have to add est at the end of it, right? The oldest, the youngest, the coolest, the nicest, okay? The hottest, the biggest, sorry. So all of those adjectives have got only one syllable. Right. What about if there are more than one syllable? What should we do, teacher? Very good. Nice question, group A and B and C. Again, that is very important. You have to have it. There is no way to delete it, no way to dismiss it, right? So you have to write that. And then most. When we're talking about more than one syllable, like the word expensive. Expensive is what is an adjective that contains more than one syllable. So if the adjective has more than one syllable, then what should we do? Yes, we add most first, preceded by the. So the, then most, very important. There is no way to dismiss it, no way to delete it, and then you've got the adjective as it is. No changes made. No changes made. Look at these two sentences, for example. John is the oldest boy in his class. Who can tell me? Why didn't we write the most oldest? مين يجاوب؟ ليش? Why? Group, thank you so much. Why? Because old is only one syllable. Exactly. And what does the rule say? The rule say that if you have one syllable adjective, continue. Very good. Yes, we add only the. We don't add most. Very nice. When do we add most before the adjective? Exactly behind the screen. Thank you so much. Brilliant. You've got the spirit. Exactly, yes, if the adjective has more than one syllable. Well done. Like this one, the watch, or sorry, this watch is the most expensive of all. The most expensive of all. Very nice. Right, now let's move very quick into these things. Okay, so have a look. Now this old, for example, has got its only one syllable adjective. One syllable, old. What should we do in order to make it comparative? We have to use ER. We have to add ER. How to make it superlative? EST. Oldest. If we just write it like it is in a sentence, is it correct? Thank you. We should add what before it? The. Exactly. The oldest. The oldest. The youngest. Very nice. The biggest. The hottest. Nice. Thank you. Again, long. Also, it's only one syllable. So again, you have to add what? ER. If it is only one syllable, you have to add ER. And for the superlative, you have to add EST. And of course, the they should be there. Right. Again, if we're talking about one syllable, now focus, please. If we are talking about one syllable, but this syllable or this adjective ends with A, have a look. Have a look. Nice. Ends with what? With A, exactly. So A is a part of the adjective itself. Should we add another A? Can we say like this one? Is it correct to say nicer, like nicer, if it is pronounced like or this way? Is it correct to do this? Wrong. Who can tell me why? Exactly. Thank you so much, Salma, behind the screen. Very nice, yes. Why? Because teacher, yes, there is A. And the A is a part of what? Is a part of the adjective. So if there is A as a part of the adjective, we don't add ER again. We add what? R. Exactly. Correct. We add what? R. That's all. We add R. What about superlative? Yes, ST. That's it. ST. We cannot repeat the E again. Similar to the word large, you've got larger and then largest. Larger and largest. Right? Large, the E is a part of the adjective and it is only one syllable. Right? And then we add only R because the E is already there in the adjective, and ST because the E is already again there in the adjective. Okay? So we, in general, briefly, we don't repeat. We don't repeat. Very nice. Have you got it? Very good. Let's continue. Right. Now have a look at this one. Again, teacher, this is one syllable, but it is another condition. Have a look at this one. Big. Huh? B, I, and G. Very good. Big. Nice. Is it one syllable or two syllables? One syllable, exactly. Thank you. But it's, what is it that's so special about this adjective? Why is it so special? Because, focus, I. What do we call it in English? Vowel. Excellent, group C. Exactly. Who can tell me what are the all vowels in English? Yes, I. Exactly. And E. Very nice. Group A. U. MashaAllah. And group B. A. Exactly. Very good. And I, E, U, A. What else? What else? We've got O. Very good. Thank you so much. So I, E, U, A, O. All of those we call them vowels. Now this is the rule. This is the condition. If there is a vowel before the last consonant, again, if there is a vowel like big here, you've got I. If there is a vowel before the last consonant, this is consonant, G is the consonant, right? In the word or the adjective, we double what? The consonant, exactly. So big becomes bigger. Look, Why? Because of the I, the vowel I, then G. So if the adjective ends in I and G, or sorry, in I as a vowel and a consonant, we double the consonant. We don't double the vowel. We double the consonant, right? The consonant here is G, so you have to double it, big, and then you have to add ER. Similar to the superlatives, biggest. For the fat again, who can tell me? Who can explain it to me? Again, yes, thank you. There is a vowel before the last consonant in the adjective fat. What is the vowel? Group C, thank you. A, exactly. So you've got A. And then consonant T. What should we do here behind the screen? Yes, well done. Give them a clap. Excellent, correct. We double the consonant again, and then we add ER if it is comparative. If it is superlatives, yes, we double the T again, and we add EST. Exactly. Thank you. Very nice. Any questions? Good. Should we continue? Should we move forward? Do you want to write some notes? You can just do it. Write some notes if you want to. Okay. Right. Or shall we just postpone this at the end of the lesson? Because you can just go back again to the video and try to write all of those notes down. Am I right? Yeah. Do it after the lesson, please. Now focus with me. If an adjective ends in a consonant Y this time, this is another condition. Look at this one, happy. It's an adjective. Ends with what? With consonant Y, exactly. Consonant Y. What should we do in order to compare two things using the same adjective, happy? Thank you so much, Group A. We should shift or replace the Y. We should replace it by what? Exactly, by I. Very good. By I. And then what should we do? What should we do? We add ER then. Yes, look. Happier. Happier. Yes, it is. And then what about the superlative? Again, you should do the same thing. You change the I into, the Y into I. And then you add what? EST. Have you got it? Okay, who can explain to me for the word silly? Adjective silly. Again, this silly is what? Is an adjective. Ends with what? With Y, exactly. What should we do here? Group A, thank you so much. Excellent, yes. We should replace the Y with I, exactly. And then what should we do? We add ER, very good. We add what? ER, nice. What about the superlative group C and B? Exactly, yes. Again, teacher, the same. Replace the Y into I. And then EST. Very good. Very good. Have you got it? Nice. Nice. Very nice. Okay, just to add more information to your knowledge, you've got those careful. I don't want you to read the top of it, but really focus with me. You've got this careful and also interesting. Look, have a look. More careful. Do you remember we said more expensive? Why did we say more careful here? Because, yes, contains more than one syllable. Yes, it is careful, has more than one syllable. And also most careful, again, doesn't change. Look, have a look. Careful, careful, careful. We don't make any kind of changes. If the adjective has got more than one syllable, we don't change anything or we don't add anything there, except we add more if we're talking about comparatives. If we're talking about superlatives, we add most. The same thing with interesting, more interesting and most interesting. Got it? Very nice. Thank you. Right, now let's move to this one. The adjective good, bad and far have irregular comparatives and superlatives. These three adjectives, good, bad and far, they are the only adjectives that they differ from each other if you want to compare something to something or if you want to make a superlative. The only three adjectives, good, bad and far, right? Do you remember the regular verbs and irregular verbs? Like for example, go, we said went and then gone. and we say, for example, walk, walked, walked, regular. Again, good, bad, and far, they are irregular what? Comparatives and superlatives. They change. Good, if you want to use it, مثلا, for example, this is good lesson, this is good lesson. But if you want to compare this lesson to other lessons, for example, this lesson is better than the other lessons. Better, have a look, changes. Yeah, full change. And then if you want to make it the best lesson, yes, good, you shift it into best. Similar to bad, worse, worst. Far, farther or further, farthest or farthest. Okay, good? Yes. Right, now we've got this little task. Should we do it together? Very fast. Now the rule is very simple. You have got all of those types of animals in front of you. Elephant, alligator, turtle or tortoise. You've got the pony and the giraffe and the frog. Right? So number one, the alligator is aggressive than the giraffe. The giraffe, sorry. So now than, we're talking about comparatives as a keyword. So aggressive, is it one syllable or two syllables? Thank you, it's more than one syllable, exactly. So what should we do? We write, thank you, group C, more. The alligator is more aggressive than the giraffe. What about number two? The tortoise is very good, slower than. Slower than. Now, I can feel like one of you guys have got some questions. I know what was your question. Slow. Slow. Teacher, you said adjectives. You said that adjectives, if they end with a vowel, which is O, and a consonant, W, we should double the consonant. We add W, and then ER. This is what you've said. This is what you've told us. Right. But there are some I don't know how to say it. There are some words which are unique. You cannot use the same strategy, like the word slow. Slow is different. Exceptions, sorry, now it's gone. Yes, exceptions, slow. We cannot say slow war. No, we cannot double the consonant here. Slow, exceptions, we add only ER. It's one of the exceptions. Okay? So slower. Thank you for this great question. Going to number three, the pony is what? Friend ends with what? With I. Thank you. What should we do? Thank you. Thank you behind the screen. Replace the Y into what? I. Exactly. So you should replace the Y into I. And then what? We add ER. Exactly. Why did you add ER? Why didn't we add EST? Exactly. There is this word than, teacher. Than, it is used for comparatives. We cannot use it for superlatives. What do we use for superlatives? Who can enlighten me? The, thank you, the, and then what? Most, exactly. Let's go to number four. The giraffe is what? Is the, have a look. The, we use it to what? To describe superlatives. Very good. So the what? What should we add? Is it one syllable or two? One syllable, exactly. What should we do? Tall, EST. Well done, group A. Yes, we should add EST. The tallest. The tallest. Thank you. And then number five, the elephant is what? Again, than. Are we talking about comparatives or superlatives? Comparatives. Thank you. Strong, is it one syllable or two or three or four? One syllable. Thank you. What should we do? We add ER. Exactly. We add what? ER. Excellent job, all of you. That's the spirit. That's what I'm talking about. Very nice, students. Stay focused. We have to go through reflexive pronouns. Do you remember the possessive adjectives, possessive pronouns, on all of those things? Today we're going to learn something else about reflexive pronouns. Very simple. You don't have to complicate yourself. Subject pronouns, we said 7 pronouns in English. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Right? The reflexive pronoun of I is myself. Is myself. The reflexive pronoun of you is yourself or yourselves. When do we say yourself? If we're talking about only one person, you, we are pointing at only one person. But if we are pointing at too many people or so many people, we use what? Yourselves. You, again, yourself. He, himself, exactly. She, herself. It, itself, very good. We, ourselves, exactly. They, themselves, very good. Again, I, the reflexive pronoun of I is myself. Repeat after me. The reflexive pronoun of you, yourselves, exactly. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. We, ourselves. They, themselves. Excellent. Very good. Right. Got it? Okay. Let's focus now on those sentences, for example. I bought myself a telescope. Tell me, this myself, refers to which one? To which word in the sentence? Is it I or bought? I, exactly. Remember, I, myself. Again. So myself refers to I. Yalla, number 2. Behind the screen, who can read? Yusuf bought himself a telescope. Huh? Exactly, himself refers to Yusuf. Very good. He. Yusuf is a he. What about number 3? I made myself a valuable library. Huh? Myself refers to what? To I. Again. Thank you. What about number 4? Himself refers to him. Yes, it is. To he. Exactly. Thank you. Yalla, number 5. Group A. Yalla, group A. History repeats itself. Itself refers to what? To repeats or to history? Excellent. To the subject. Yes. To the subject. History. Very good. Galaxies stretch themselves refers to what? Yalla, group B. Galaxies. Excellent. What about number 7? Yourself refers to what? Group C. You. Very nice. Now this sentence, are we talking about a particular person, one person, or a group? One person, exactly. How did you know? Yes, yourself. Have a look. We said that you can be used for both. Yourself and yourselves. If we're talking about a bunch of people, then we say yourselves. If we're talking about only one person, we say what? Yourself. Exactly. Right. Again, children, for example, our children, this one, in order not to talk or not to focus on this whatsoever the thing is, you can just read it later. Let's focus on the sentence. Our children walk to school by themselves. Look, themselves refers to what? Our children, because we're talking about group of people, children, kids. Again, we shift the self into what? Selves. Correct. See the point? If we're talking about plural, then we have to change the F into V and then add ES. We need to believe in ourselves. Ourselves refers to what? To we, to us. Very good. There are some verbs which are often used with reflexive pronouns. Sometimes we use those reflexive pronouns usually once we use some of those verbs. To have, for example, to behave yourself, we say to cut yourself, to hurt yourself, to enjoy yourself, to look after yourself, to make yourself something. So we usually use those reflexive pronouns with those verbs: behave, cut, hurt, enjoy, look after, make. Okay? Right. Now have a look to this task very quickly. Have a look at this task. I made myself... Now what I'd like you to do in this task, I'd like you to find whether this sentence is true or false. Is it correct? Did we write the reflexive pronoun correct in the sentence or not? I made myself a big breakfast. Is it correct, guys, or not? Yes, it is. Excellent. Very good. What about number 2? She was talking to herself. Is it correct? Yes, thank you so much. Very good. What about this 3? I stood myself up. Huh? Correct. What about you guys? Incorrect. You? Incorrect. It is incorrect. Why, teacher? Why? Myself refers to I, teacher. Yes. But bear to your mind that there are some verbs. Anything that people usually do, any action that people usually do, they usually do, like standing up. People used to stand up. Am I right? They use, for example, to relax. Am I right? For example, if you do very hard work, what should you do next? You have to relax yourself. Am I right? So sometimes when there are some actions where people usually do, we don't use reflexive pronoun. We don't use. We say, I stood up, and that's it. Why? Because standing is an action that people usually do all the time. We don't have to use a reflexive pronoun. Okay, let's go to 4. Thank you. We shook hands and introduced ourselves. Is it correct? Yes, thank you. What is thank you? Yes. Ourselves should be what? Selves. Ourselves. Why? Because ourselves refers to what? To we. Exactly. Number 5. They watched themselves on video. Excellent. Correct. Themselves refers to they. What about be careful? Don't cut yourself. Excellent. Correct. We said that there are some verbs like to behave, to cut. They are followed by reflexive pronoun. Like cut. Have a look. This one. Cut. Then yourself. Fahad relaxed himself when he got home. Exactly. Why? Because relaxation is something that people usually do. It's an action that all of us as people, we usually do. So we don't have to write reflexive pronoun himself. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Right. Now let's go to this one very quickly, to this game. Yes? To make sure that you have got it. Give me just a few seconds, please. Okay. Yes. Very quickly. Okay. There is something happened. Right. Waiting. Waiting and waiting. Okay. Right. So this is like an activity, again, using word wall in order to convey a clear message to the audience. Very quickly. Shall we start this? Okay. Yalla. He couldn't do it, so he asked us to help. He couldn't do it what? Himself, exactly. Very good. Going to. Number 2. What? Oh, sorry, why don't you do it by yourselves? Exactly. Very good. Going to 3. She couldn't see. She couldn't she. So she herself. Yes, it is. Very nice. Going to behave, said the teacher to her pupils. Pupils, we're talking about group of people. Yes? Behave yourselves. Excellent. Going to. They are too small to do the task by themselves, because themselves refers to they. And then going to. The dog managed to get in the house by dog. Itself. Exactly. And then going to number 7. The fog was so dense that we lost. We all lost what? Ourselves. Very good. And then going to number 8. The noise was so loud that I couldn't hear what? Myself. Excellent. Very good job. Thank you. Right, very quickly. Have a look at this one. Star shines at Al-Hokain. It's going to be like a revision. We're not going to focus that much. Again, what should we do? Do you remember the strategy? Yes, we focus in the last. Very good. We try to find this phrase and in the text. Very good. Where can we find it? Exactly. Thank you. In this one, studied the movement of the sun in the stand. So who? We're talking about a person. We're talking about, give me just 1 minute, please. We're talking about a person. So who? Sinan. Exactly. Find the word. A group of people who study and care about astronomy. سميناهم الأسبوع الماضي. شو اسمهم? Astronomers. Exactly. Which one? Here it is. Very good. Let's go because of the time. Yes, I'm about to finish. The time is running too fast here. Star shines at Al-Hokain again. What was Yusuf fascinated by? Fascinated by teacher. This is the one. Okay, the answer is followed immediately the answer is right after this one. Fascinated by the glittering stars and the clean night sky above his village. Find the word again. Look at something or somebody for a long time in surprise or admiration. So which word is it? To gaze up. Excellent. To gaze. To gaze at something. To gaze up. It means you look at something because you admire it in surprise or admiration. Okay? Going to number 4. One day when he was. Very quickly. Who encouraged Yusuf to collect? Where is the word encourage? This one. Encourage Yusuf to. So who? We're talking about a person. Teacher. Exactly. Very good. And the last one. When did Yusuf buy himself a telescope? When? We're talking about meta. How can we do it? Very good. Buy himself. Bought. Buy. Very good. So the answer is in the same sentence. 1992. Why is it? Because we're talking about meta. Right, and then number 7. Yes, Yusuf believes that every Omani house. What do farmers and fishermen use the stars for? Sorry for being very quick here. Yes. So شو الطريقة شو قلنا أول? What is the reading strategy that we have to apply? Very nice. Look at the last phrase, the stars fall. Right, now in this question, I made it myself, and to be honest, I did it for a purpose. If you look at this one, this phrase, the stars fall, we cannot find this one. The stars fall, we cannot find it. Go. Yusuf believes that in every Omani house, there is someone who can talk about the stars and planets. Omani farmers use the stars to tell, there is no stars for yet, the stars to tell them when to plant crops. Fishermen and travelers use the stars to guide them. Talk to your family and find out some information in the stars. You might surprise yourself and become the next great Arab astronomer. Where is stars for? We cannot find it. Okay, teacher, we cannot apply the same strategy. What should we do, teacher? Very simple. You've got some keywords. Focus. Fishermen. Sorry, farmers. Farmers. And then fishermen. Go to the text and try to find how many words do we have the word farmers. How many times is it written in the reading text? Find it. Yalla shuf. What about fishermen? How many times do we have the word fishermen in the reading text? Yalla shuf. Try to find it. I'll give you 1 minute. Exactly. One farmer. The word farmers, it's repeated how many times? 1. Very good. Fishermen, how many times? 1. Exactly. Right. Now let's try to find these 2 words. Where are they? Farmers, teacher. In this line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Farmers. Very good. Where is fishermen? Fishermen, teacher. Okay. This one, teacher. Fishermen. Very good. Now, look for the word used. You've got farmers and fishermen. The answers are in these 2 sentences. For sure, 100%. You don't have to dwell on it that much. You don't have to complicate yourself. Teacher, I couldn't find the phrase the stars fall. What should I do? Go to the noun or go to the verb in the question and try to find it. You will not find it repeated so many times for sure. And if it is repeated for so many times, well, you can just write, repeat it, the first sentence, the second, the third. Not more than 3. Then choose the suitable sentence. Choose the suitable answer. Right? So again, farmers, where is it? Farmers use the stars to tell them when to plant crops. This is answer number 1. Answer number 2, to guide them. Exactly. Have you got it? Very good. Thank you, first of all. Thank you so much for your cooperation and this lovely atmosphere. I cannot describe it at all. I wish you luck and all the best in the world. See you next week. Salute.